Hello and welcome. This is a chat to the professional, the show that has been designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies. My name, as usual, Martin Sobu, and I'm sure glad to be with you. Today, we are reaching you from Maryland, the United States of America, and we are going to have another prominent Nigerian, someone that back home we should be referring to as an elder. He's had his sojourn in the United States of America for 35 years, 25 of which he has spent in the classrooms, teaching in various universities. He's now retired for like 1 year, but not tired. He's still into research and publishing. Of course, we are going to hear him talk about some of his works, especially the ones we are expecting today. He is happy to have retired from one of the universities. So by the time we listen to him talk, I am sure lives will be touched. I am certain young ones will be inspired. And I am very hopeful that the government of the day equally will be inspired to do the right thing, especially for the young ones who are the future of our great nation. I will be introducing our guests properly by the time we return from this break, so don't go anywhere. We will be back. Today, from Maryland in the United States of America, we have another distinguished Nigerian, like I mentioned also in my introduction. This is a man that is known in the professional circle as Dr. Justin Harris. But for us as Nigerians, we know him as Uchenna Nwachukwu, a professor of management who has taught business management and marketing for several years in the United States of America. He began his sojourn abroad as a little boy in Europe and somehow ended up in the United States and has been in the US for over 35 years now. So we decided that today we'll try and share some of his experiences while outside the shores of our great country, Nigeria. So join me now as I welcome, of course, back home we'll be calling him an elder, but of course you know the way it is here in the US. So I'll simply call him Uchenna. So you join me in welcoming Professor Uchenna Nwachukwu to the show. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, you began your sojourn abroad as a little boy. And looking at the photograph, I saw earlier of you in Europe, I was wondering if you actually knew where you were at that time.
Well, I essentially came to the United States to attend graduate school.
Okay.
My parents had made that sacrifice which most Nigerian parents make by putting in everything they had in our education. So when I finished my studies in philosophy and theology at Bigad Memorial Seminary in Enugu, I gained admission to attend graduate school here in the United States. Okay. And for 5 years, I finished the master's and the PhD, and also engaged in a postdoctoral degree in management, and moved from Wisconsin to the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Okay. After 5 years working for a public accounting firm, I entered university teaching. Okay. And spent the last 25 years in various capacities, rising to be the dean of the university and also taking on various administrative positions.
Okay. Wonderful. From your story, it does appear you originally set out to become a priest, but somehow along the line, because mentioning Bigad Memorial Seminary in Enugu, it just occurs to me that perhaps you had originally set out to be a priest. But the bottom line is that you've been in the United States for about 35 years, yes, and you've spent the last 25 years of it teaching. Compare your experience as a student in Nigeria and what's going on in the United States in terms of facilities, curricula. What's your take on that? Can you compare that? And then, given the period you left Nigeria and what obtains now?
Yeah, I had a very good educational experience in Nigeria, given the standards in the secondary schools, yes, in the 60s and the early 70s. And also, having been trained in the seminary, there was emphasis in scholarship.
Okay.
So I came to the United States quite developed and was eager to take advantage of the additional resources here. The U.S. is better equipped, but also Nigerians have managed to make the most of what they had in the past.
Okay.
Given the experience with the university here, students are the same across the globe.
Okay.
The difference is the opportunity, the consistency, the number of times academic sessions are interrupted overseas make it a little difficult for the students to progress through their program.
Okay.
But here, they have more resources and there is a certain measure of stability.
Okay.
But I have been privileged to have so many Nigerians and Africans as students, and they have distinguished themselves. I'm always proud to look back that among some of the students I've met, one is now a retired general in the Air Force,
okay,
and one is currently still serving as a major general.
Okay.
So Nigerians inside the United States and back home have tried to make the most of education, which is the tool that lifts people up. Yes.
Now, I'm glad you've answered this question with even something I haven't asked, because I was going to ask you to compare, apart from the quality back home and what obtains here, how much of the impact of the education our people have gotten in terms of their behavior, their attitude, their output, especially in the US. Everywhere you go, you come across Nigerians and you see them doing exceedingly well. You get into their homes, of course they live in the best of homes, the ones I've visited in the US. They live much better than even a lot of the Americans I have as friends. What would you attribute this to?
I think that there is something in an immigrant that gives the person the determination to work hard. You have nothing to fall back on except your effort. And Nigerians across the states have that determination to try to make the most of the long way from home.
Yeah.
There are so many Americans who are doing as well.
Okay.
Discipline. If you're disciplined, if you are dedicated, you're likely to make the most of the resources around you. The challenges are the same that you have in every human society. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Well, you're still watching A Chat with the Professional, and within the past 10 minutes or thereabout, we have been discussing the sojourn of one great Nigerian, someone who has made some remarkable achievements in the education world, having sojourned in the United States for 35 years, 25 of which he has spent lecturing in various universities and serving at several departments, both in administration and, of course, academics. And we are talking about Professor Uchenna Nwachukwu. We shall, at this moment, take a break. Do not go anywhere. We will return after this time out.
Professional handshake. Professional profile.
Nigeria is the most important country in sub-Saharan Africa.
In-depth analysis of professional issues.
Of education, the collapse of culture in Nigeria. Even with cheating, we can't pass.
Yeah.
With the enormity of the cheating.
We've not done enough. There's still more to be done.
Join Martins Obu every week on this channel as he chats with the professionals on the program. A Chat with the Professionals. A program designed to x-ray the activities of professional individuals and corporate bodies.
Hello, viewers, and you're welcome.
Join us.
You're welcome back. You're still watching the show Chat to the Professional, and before we went on break, our guest, Professor Uchenna Nwachukwu, the man they also know in the professional circle in US as Dr. Justin Harris, has tried to give us an overview of his experience in the US. Are you thinking of coming back home to more or less give to us a bit of the cake you've gotten from the US?
Okay. While I have retired from working for one particular university system, I am also active in doing things that help advance the development of young people.
Okay.
I do some adjunct teaching here, but I have spent my first year in retirement writing.
Okay.
I have 2 books that are about to be published. One is The Lucky Ones South of the Sahara, where I have taken time to write on stories of where I have come from.
Okay.
Many people are not well informed about Nigeria and some of the cultures that are in there.
Okay.
I am also finishing a memoir which I have titled From There to Here, A Journey of Hopes and Dreams, which is about my own experiences going to school in Nigeria, here in the United States, and teaching over the years. Definitely, I don't intend to pitch my tent only here now that I have more time to go places.
Yeah.
I have been back and forth to Nigeria many times.
Okay.
So I am looking forward to those academic exchanges, sabbaticals, and so forth. You know that I can't conveniently go back to Nigeria now and take up a full-time job. There are many others who are on the pipeline waiting to take on those professorships. So my hope is that I can go in, teach for an academic year or a session, and then do other things, which gives me the flexibility. Now that I can commit some of the things that the young can borrow from. So I intend to be quite active, yes. I'm involved with the young in Nigeria, in addition to the ones that I have sponsored to come here. I have a linkage, scholarships, people who ask for resources, which you can send to them. Many times in the last 35 years, I have shipped most of my books to various Nigerian universities. And I'll continue to be a resource person for the young ones in there.
Exciting, because this program, as you know, seeks to promote professionalism in all facets of our lives. And what Prof here is doing and has done over the years, like he just mentioned, encouraging the young ones, is something that is so critical to what we do on A Chat with the Professional, ensuring that the young ones leave schools, you know, with their mind set on where they are headed, what they want to achieve in life, you know, rather than a situation where somebody leaves school and of course has no direction. And that's why I am particularly excited that today we have Prof on set to share his experience, because I am hoping and believing that the young ones out there, especially those who are still in high school, are watching him and realizing that he too had his basic training in Nigeria before traveling abroad for further studies and eventually settled in the US to teach. So finally now, Prof, what would be your advice? Haven't done 35, 25, of course you understand what I mean, 35 in US, 25 in the academic world in US. What would be your advice generally to the upcoming, you know, young lads, those who are out there watching you, seeking inspiration from you, and asking themselves, what do I have to do to be like Prof and be seated by my side someday as professionals?
Yes. First I want to empathize with the young at home who may not have as much of the resource we had when I was going through primary and secondary schools. But I have to ask them a favor, never to give up. My father had died before I entered the university in Nigeria. My mother has been gone now for more than 15 years. I didn't want to have any excuses for failing, because you make yourself what you want to be with the help of other people. I am impressed with some of the dedication of our young. Everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. Without knowledge, without education, no culture, no nation would advance anywhere. We live in the 21st century, a century of information technology. I encourage our young to do their best, not to be distracted by a number of the things that are happening, not just in Nigeria, but across the world. I know that globally, the world is being challenged by some economic realities. But I can tell them that just like when I came here, I washed dishes in residential halls. I shelved books in the libraries. I cleaned the floor of a church on the university campus. I made sacrifices. Life is never served anybody on a platter of gold. If the leaders of our nation can step up and help the young, I think the future is still in their hands. I have 2 young children. I know that if they can be given the support, which starts from the home, the parents, the schools, the community. The saying that it takes the village to raise a child. All of those who are along the pipeline, this is not a forum for me to dwell on the negatives, but I would rather have many of our young children realize that what you know how to do stays with you for life.
Forever.
Knowledge, learning, acquisition of skills. Many of us who played soccer with tennis balls on the sand end up playing well along the road. That means that when you acquire any skills while young, it can stay with you for the rest of your life. It's not a bed of roses anywhere. The things people see in pictures and on television about the United States is the glamour of it. The reality of day-to-day life in the United States is similar to Nigeria. People stand on the bus stops. People are beaten by the rain when they don't have umbrellas. Everybody doesn't live in a flat. Some people live in a room or so. So we are at that stage where the best thing I can offer the young is encouragement. I never realized that I will be sitting here someday speaking with a television producer. I never thought I would be far from my village of Amapontega in Isialangwa, a local government area, teaching over 3,000 miles away. But that's life. But the goal that anybody can set is to keep your eyes on the prize and make sure that you don't lose your focus.
A renowned professor of management who has really paid his dues in the US, teaching for 25 years out of his 35 years in the States. Has been retired now for 1 year, teaching in a university, but like you heard him say, of course, he's still very active, writing books. And we are hoping that with some of the available exchange programs in Nigerian universities, we should be able to tap from his reservoir of knowledge. Like I said, there's nothing more to add to what he has said, especially for the young ones out there who think that traveling abroad is the ultimate. Fine, you might just be making your mark if you do that, but it's very important you have it at the back of your mind that it's not a bed of roses. What you experience in Nigeria is what you might equally experience out there, so you've got to be armed. And the greatest ammunition you need on that sojourn is education. If you are not educated, I'm sorry for you, you might just end up in jail like so many Nigerians who are languishing in different parts of the world. So go to school, acquire some skills, and then when you migrate, you will be revered as a Nigerian professional. Prof, it's been wonderful speaking with you. What you are receiving is what we call professional handshake, which is a tradition, and we do that to encourage the young ones out there who are watching and listening and hoping to be like you someday. This I believe will inspire them and encourage them to be like you so that they too can be seated by my side to do this. My pleasure having you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So do not go anywhere. A Chat with the Professional returns after this time out. Please stay. Well, viewers, that's the much time will permit today on A Chat with the Professional. And I am certain that you have been inspired listening and watching Professor Uchenna Nwachukwu speak on his experiences in the United States in particular. And of course, the advice he has given to our young ones on how best to achieve in life. You also need to realize, like he said, that traveling abroad is not just the ultimate. You have to be equipped with the right tools so that you can make your mark and live a decent life while living abroad. That's so much we can take today. Till next week when I come your way, when we shall be bringing to you another core professional to discuss another issue of public importance. I remain Martin Sobu saying bye now and stay blessed.
Chats with a professional. Oh, 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 oh. A chats with a professional. With Martin Sobu. A chats with a professional. Oh, 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 oh. A chats with a professional. With Martin Sobu.